When complex deals need expert brokers. You know what separates a good real estate transaction from an impossible one? Sometimes it's just having the right people in the room. I'm going to tell you about a deal that should never have happened but did. We had a buyer and a seller, each with their very specific needs. And here's the kicker, their needs were completely different from one another. And on paper, this looked like a dead end. The buyer had some very unique financing requirements and specific criteria that had to be met. And the seller, they had their own set of circumstances that seemed completely incompatible with what the buyer needed. Most agents would have walked away. They would have said, sorry, this isn't going to work. Let's go find you something else. But this buyer happened to be working with Debbie Friday Jagers, and I was working with the seller. And we both understood that sometimes the word no is sometimes just the beginning of the conversation. So between the two of us, we had decades of experience and a toolkit full of creative solutions. So here's what we did. We layered in seller financing with a short payoff date, and negative amortization, which is almost unheard of, a time-off market fee, and a few other items to meet the client's needs, and we combined all of that with a conventional loan. We essentially wove different financial instruments and concessions together into one cohesive transaction. And here's the important part. The buyer and the seller, they worked with us. They were accommodating, they communicated, and everyone operated in good faith. That's the magic combination. Experienced brokers plus willing clients. What initially looked hopeless became possible. What seemed like a deal killer actually turned into a deal maker. So when it was all said and done, both parties got exactly what they needed. Look, here's the bottom line. When you're facing a complicated transaction, and in real estate many of them are, you need someone who's seen it before, someone who knows the tools available, and someone who can think creatively and structure solutions for you. So when you're ready to buy or sell, especially if your situation has any complexity to it, don't just hire any broker, hire experience, hire expertise, hire someone who's been in the trenches and knows how to get deals done. The right broker is not an expense, they're an investment that will actually pay dividends.